Woody, Shane, my man, Mikey, look, I found my doppelganger, man. I'm just walking down here. Look, there's my doppelganger, man. Oh my god, man, this is amazing. Dude, after what happened with Mars Industries, I cannot believe that I've now found my doppelganger. Like this is just absolutely amazing. Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends, the Gamerverse Punisher, Nick Fury 2-pack, and yes, I know some people are like, hey, that Nick Fury's not black, that Punisher doesn't have a black suit on, and it looks just like this one that we will be kind of doing a quick comparison to, and you are correct, but this is from the video game, and many people may not realize this, but at one point in continuity, Nick Fury was white. I can't explain it all because I don't really know it all, but I know that David Hasselhoff actually played him. But the thing this thing has are a couple Punisher heads that either don't rock a screaming face or don't have a Cobra Kai bandana on or whatever that is. So we're going to take a look at this, get this thing out, see if these things are worth it. Maybe they work perfectly with your G.I. Joe Classified. People think I'm only a G.I. Joe Classified reviewer. I am not. Or hey, maybe you just like the Gamerverse. Maybe you like this game. It seems like people are pretty excited about this. So you can see everything that it does come with, the two figures. Here we have the Punisher right there. There we have Nick Fury, and on the back we can see what they're supposed to look like, kind of like from the game. So anyway, let's get into this. No, we don't need to continue to look at me. I actually lost my train of thought. But anyway, before we do, please take a second. If you like this type of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends review. Or hit that hype button, whatever the hell that thing is. Alright, so I got the guys out of their prison, and this is in the background, okay? So when you're looking through everything, this is clearly something from the video game. You can tell it's like a 16-bit, maybe even 8-bit. I think this is more close to a 16-bit. But they're just giving you a little bit of stuff. So if you want to use it as a background, you can. Again, it's up to you. So here are our figures. I know I've seen some of these parts before. I bet most of them are a reuse. Again, this guy is almost a complete reuse of that guy from what I can tell. But anyway, let's look at the accessories first. That's what I like to do. So we will actually start off with the Punisher, and then we'll get over here to Nick Fury. So I'm assuming all the gray weapons are going to go to the Punisher. So he comes with this Uzi. We have seen this before. This is different than the classified one that comes with Snake Eyes. And that is because, from my understanding, if they were to use the same weapons, if they ever lost the license, Disney, Marvel, they automatically get the rights to those molds. So here's the Uzi. It is very flexible. Marvel Legends, I mean, people complained about classified. They've been using gummy weapons for quite some time. So here we are. There's no port for blast effects. Magazine doesn't remove it. That's fine. I'm not complaining about it. But you have stock right here. You get the big handle or big grip. You get your trigger guard, extended magazine. There's your iron sight for it. The Uzi doesn't look all that bad. Unfortunately, it's very gummy. Here we have his pistol that he comes with. All right. Again, this one, I don't know. It is gummy, but it doesn't feel as gummy as that. You get some nice little detail there on the grip, trigger guard, and the trigger. There's a little bit of the iron sight right there. No port for blast effects. I actually do think this weapon looks pretty good. I don't mind it. It's one I think I actually keep with him. Yeah, it's the same one, I believe, there. Here we have, I believe this is the Mac 10. Again, very flexible. I mean, this is literally rubber, all right? This is literally rubber. It does have a port that I think some sort of blast effect might fit in there. I know they give a lot with Marvel Legends. So you have the barrel, which I do think looks nice. The magazine that's just kind of sticking out. You have your grip and your trigger guard. There's your iron sight. I do like the detail. I don't have a problem. That is something I would use, but I have so many 3D printed weapons, I'll probably use those. All right, here is the M16. They both have them. This is not gummy. This is a, it's flexible, but it is way different. And I actually think this M16 looks really, really good. All right, so we have the nice long stock. We have the grip. You can see the magazine. It is not removable, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You got your handle, and if you look, you can see the switching mechanism. Nice long barrel, and then there you have your iron sight. I actually like this M16. I think it will go really good with the G.I. Joe Trooper. Same with that one, just because they should have come with M16s. He gets the baseball bat, which once again, this is flexible, but not gummy. So I don't understand how this works. You can see the sheen on this one, along with like this. You can see that there's a sheen on it. And these ones here don't, because they're a different type of plastic. These are literally rubber. So this also has a sheen. It's got the bottom of it. You can see the barrel. I believe I have a baseball bat for other things. But this is cool. This is world building. I like what's happening here. All right, we get the grenade that came with that Punisher right there. So you have the green grenade here, and then you have your the handle. There's your pin painted all black. That is pretty cool. So it's nice to have. I usually have it on him. I've been moving around, so we get his hands. So he's got his two pointing fingers. All right, looks pretty good, and you can see the detail within the glove. A trigger finger, which, let's be honest, the Punisher needs. His open world domination hand. I don't know what that's for. And then we have another trigger finger. All right, he has the punchies on right there. We get this suitcase of money. There's nothing on the outside, all right, but on the inside, you can see this. You can see the little straps that are signifying how much money it is. They've been opened, and then we close it. It's gonna snap. So I do like this. Again, world building, and that's what I really like when it comes to these types of figures. Here we have the explosion, and I know I have a couple of these, I believe now. But when we look at this here, this one, I have one that it has like bullets and stuff exploding. This looks like, it literally looks like they cut the tips off. I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, everything else looks fine till you get to the exploding parts. I don't, well, anyway, it's a nice I don't know what to say about it, man. It just doesn't look that good. It's up here. Everything else looks good. This is one of those things I guess you could kind of trim maybe to make it look proper. But the translucent looks good. Painting the middle here gives it a better explosion, like there's smoke coming, you know, there's smoke on the inside of it or underneath it. So I do like that. All right, here's our figure. He has two different heads. So here's his like teeth gritting head, which to me is better than a screaming head. All right. So when we look at this here, it's got some nice hair to him. It's got the bangs hanging down there. You can see all the different details in what's supposed to be the strands of hair, which give it all the depth to it. He's got his 5 o'clock shadow. Eyebrows are in pretty good shape there. His eyes are looking straight. The camera sometimes makes it look like it's looking up. Gritting teeth. You can see the detail all around his cheekbones and everything. And there is some paint apps on the lips to give him some depth. All right, here is this figure right here, and this is more of an angry Frank Castle head. So going back to the hair, it's not the same, very similar. So the one thing I like this is that the hair is a little bit different, which is fine because it's not always going to be the same, but it's not a completely different head sculpt like Maximum Hulk, which I absolutely love that figure, but they give you 3 different head sculpts and they're all different, so I can't do pictures where he's changing his facial expression. So here, same concept. The hair is just kind of flowing back. You see the detail in it. He's got the little bit of the bangs. More of a stoic face here. You can see the eyebrows right there, the 5 o'clock shadow. His eyes are looking straight. I'm not going to lie about that. And then we have his lips there, all right? And you can see exactly, just gives a little bit of pop. We get down here to the buck here, all right? He has whatever this is supposed to be. There's nothing on it but a couple pouches. It's more for detail. You can probably swap this out and throw it on there if you want, all right? These are completely different. I know he has the bullets. I thought maybe they'd just remove that, but they did not. Don't fall, Frank. Go. Of course you're going to fall, aren't you? All right. So, a couple little pouches. Some silver paint apps to make it pop. Kind of like a very tight skin suit. As you can see, he's got the big biceps. You can see some really nice detail in the muscle. And here we can actually see where the gloves are supposed to go. And there's a little cut right there. All right. He's got the wrist swivel. Back is extremely developed. And then his belt has 100 little pouches. Now, as we can look at the look of the Punisher logo, here are this is the bottom of the skull. You can see where the nose is. His legs, once again, you have these thigh cuts, and it really does create a break when the muscularity should be right there, but you can only do so much. Here, they went with a different holster, and they painted the inside there, which these things normally fall, and I don't see this one being any different. But they did a good job of making sure you know exactly where it's supposed to be, and I'm assuming in the video game that's how it is. Then he's got the white boots, all right, and that is where the cut is, and it looks really odd, all right. As for the articulation on the figure, he can look up, which is actually pretty good, and he can look down. All right, he can turn side to side. He can't really tilt his head. There's his T-pose right there. He swivels not only at the shoulder, but at the bicep. He does have butterfly joints, so possibly be able to cross over. He can a little bit. I don't know if this is just going to be in the way, but he can cross over a little bit. Double pinless elbows. He's got the wrist swivel. He does have the diaphragm cut, so you can do a little belly dancing right there. So you can turn side to side, but he can only move. He can only look down that far. Like he can only turn and then to go back there. I like ab crunches more. I've discussed this numerous times, but everyone is different. He does swivel here, which is perfectly fine because it's better than what most Marvel Legends do. There's a Jean-Claude Van Damme. He has no drop-down hips, thigh swivel, which I already kind of mentioned, double pinless knees, the boot cut, and the ankle rockers. All right, so what we have quickly here is this face sculpt. We're going to pop this off, and we're going to throw on the grinning face. Maybe not. Sometimes you have to heat up these figures, but this one I did not. So there you have the grinning face. Doesn't look bad, but I think what we want to see more than anything is there's the angry face. And I can say, it's not that I hate the screaming face, but I don't need it on all the time. Skin tone seems to be maybe a little bit off, but you're really not going to notice. So there he is screaming, but I think more than anything, people want to see what happens if I swap out one of these to give you a different looking Punisher. I feel like he's really losing a neck. And that's because this is painted up so high. I don't think it's painted up as high on this one. It's not. So if you want to know what that looks like, I think it actually looks better, to be honest. I actually don't mind this head sculpt, but I hate the bandana. That's just extremely frustrating. I don't need to see that. All right. So the heads are swappable if you want. So, all right. No, we don't want that there. And we're going to go back to the stoic face. All right. As for the hands, we're going to swap these out because there's no reason to have non-trigger hands on a Frank Castle. Because let's be honest, this guy's going to be shooting people. All right. Take the M16. And I can tell you already, this figure, he stands perfectly fine. I should have no problem getting him on 1 foot. All right. So if we want to have them running, I like the fact that they can look up at where they're running. And easy peasy on one hand, on one leg without a problem. All right. He actually has some pretty big feet, so there's really no issue standing him whatsoever. All right. So we can leave him right over there. Now it's time to get to our Nicholas Fury. All right. So these may be interchangeable with the baseball bat, stuff like that. So what we have here are some hands. We get that World Domination hand. Now these should not be the same. Although, I actually think they are. Just the paint on it kind of covers the fingernails a little bit. But without the paint, you can see the fingernails pretty well. Along with the bone structure, even on the inside, you can see the way the everything looks on the inside of the hand. Here we have his 2 fingers that are telling people where to go. See the detail right there in the crease. And then he has his 2 punchy hands. All right. Now this is something understandable. I'm not a big fan of punchy hands because, in all honesty, eventually you're like, yeah, I can only do so many shots with them punching people. All right. We have the M16, which we've already seen. It has that sheen to it, so it is flexible, not soft. Exact same as the one we already had. Magazine, no port for blast effects, nice stock. You got your handle right there. And then we get this. And I look at this, and all I see is the laser pistol from Return of the Jedi on the sail barge. So we'll quickly look at it. You got a grip, trigger guard in the trigger. You got a port for blast effects. Looks really weird, to be honest. But I look at this, and this is just a Star Wars gun. I mean, it looks like that Star Wars gun. All right. There's our Nick Fury. And it looks good. So, 2 tones of hair. Now, you can see that this was black. They need to do a little bit better. Oh, it's not. Well, yeah, so the hairpiece looks like it's just black. And they really needed to paint a little bit more there. So, the detail on it looks good. I mean, the detail on the hair going to the bottom. So, it has brown on the top, and on the sides here, it is white, and it's supposed, I don't know if it's supposed to have streaks of black in it, but it is a black overlay from what I can tell. And they didn't do a good job of making this completely white and also not painting on the inside there. He has his eye patch. You can see his eyebrows right over it. This doesn't come off, but you can see the scarring right there. See how that eye looks? You can see his scowl, but it looks like he's supposed to have a cigar. And I'm going to assume they can't give you a cigar. I have a feeling that you can probably take a toothpick and make that into an actual cigar. All right. These are the lines in it. You can see the 5 o'clock shadow. So I think the face sculpt looks good, but this is one should have had 2 face sculpts, because you have one where he has supposed to have cigar. We'll make it work. All right. And then give us one where he doesn't have that, so people that don't want to go out and find one or make one. All right. So here we have his holster, his shoulder holster, whatever you want to call it. It's got the nice button that's painted. You can see the magazine of the gun. This does not come off. That's disappointing. You got some pouches right here. You can see the detail into making this thicker. So it's padding on his shoulder, so it's not just digging into it. And as it wraps completely around here, I love the fact that these are painted silver, so the belt buckles actually pop pretty well. Here's his military style belt. Got some pouches going all the way around. And once again, you can see the belt loop and look at all that detail. And then you have this big loop right here. And then you have the little forks or the little fingers. You have in two of them. But having the extra holes just really makes this thing pop. Drop down holster, where I'm assuming these are maybe 2 magazines that he's supposed to be able to hold. Once again, you have the silver right there, and you can see the little holes. Again, skin tight pants. You get down to these different style boots, or shall I say actual boots. This guy really doesn't have boots. Same figure. I feel like I've seen these on another Marvel Legends somewhere. But I like the detail here where you can see the wrinkles in it. This guy may not stand as easy because it has the toes that go up, but we'll find out soon. All right, articulation. He can look up that far, and he can look down that far. Not nearly as good as our Punisher. Okay, well, hold on. I lied. He can go down that far, and he can go up that far. So I absolutely lied. I forgot that you have to put a little bit of pressure and they'll go up. All right. Turn side to side. Can't really turn his head all that well. There's his T-pose. He swivels not only at the bicep, but at the shoulder. He also has pinless joints. He also has butterfly joints. But even if they do work, the biggest thing is this is probably going to be in the way. Kind of move it over, out of the way there. And it does seem to work a little bit. It kind of goes on a slant, doesn't go straight ahead. All right. No real muscular, muscular tone here. You can see that his bicep is actually pretty big. He does have the wrinkles, and then you have the cuffs right there. And then we're looking at the trigger fingers, which once again, I like the detail. I've always liked the bone structure detail. I think it looks good. Same with over here. No tampo, no logos on his suit. He has an ab crunch. He goes that far, and then he goes that far back. He's going to turn side to side. Now, the belt hides the Marvel Legends cut. See how that pushes out? That's because they just have like this straight across. This one doesn't even matter because that's in the way. There's his Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's going to get in the way. No drop down hips. There's a side swivel. Once again, makes a break. Pinless double elbows or double knees. Boot cut, and your ankle rockers. So, let's hide the gun that I never ever want to use. Gonna throw this on here. Now, I gotta say, I like the M16s. They seem a little small. I'm not the only one that thinks that, right? It seems quite small. This is a 3D printed weapon. The thickness, it's just, I don't know. Here's an M4 that's 3D printed. I don't know. Tell me what you think if you have it. So, here we can go. We can pose them. So he can definitely be aiming. Now, once again, he is supposed to be fighting guys. This is a video game, so maybe that's how the M16 is supposed to look. I don't know what video game it is. I've never played it. Alright. Can we get this guy on one foot? Probably. Maybe. I'm starting to think, no, I can't. I'm like right on the worst spot on this table, too. So there you go. He is running. He was. But I don't think it'll be that hard. And if you're new to the channel and you're like, why would you do something like this? Well, I kind of like to show people what they can and can't do right out of the box. How hard is it going to be? Yeah, that's actually a good shot. All right, there you go. That is your Nick Fury. That is your, what the hell's his name? Punisher. It's the 2-pack. I actually think they look really good, to be honest. I actually like the Nick Fury. I wasn't expecting to, and I will make a cigar for sure. But yeah, there you go. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you have it. That is your Punisher and your Nick Fury 2-pack review. Man, I gotta say, I do like these. I've actually come to like this Punisher. I really do like the black one, to be 100% honest. But it's part of a 2-pack. Not everyone wants the other figure. I think people would be happy with both of these. If you're a Joe collector, you can find a way to work both of them into your G.I. Joes. If you're a video game collector, you can say, hey, you know what? I love that video game. It's going to fit right in. And if you're a Marvel Legends guy, well, it kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, both of them actually look pretty good. So he's not standing up. I hate this table. I hate that table. Anyway, that's it. That's the review. If you liked it, please take a second, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends review. And believe me, I do a lot. I know what you see behind me is classified, but I do a lot of Marvel Legends because behind there, behind the camera, there's a whole bunch of Marvel Legends boxes. Matter of fact, you can just look at the playlist and you'll see. Before I leave, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop another Marvel Legends review right here, and down here will be a playlist of all the Marvel Legends reviews that I've done. Take care.